Hey everyone, my name is Kia Charisma, and I'd like to welcome you to Glow Lights with Moroccan Oil. This look is from our color inspired collection and creates a lot of high impact highlights around the face and the hairline. I still hear myself. That's odd. Okay, maybe technology is going to technology. Anyway, let's focus. So, okay, is my chat? Yes, the chat is live. Great. All right, let's get back to it. So, this technique is ideal for creating lived-in looks. You can use it for color blocking, and then my favorite, you can use it for mini services. I don't know about you all, but I know my clients have been a little bit more judicious about where and when they want to spend their money. Those big full highlight appointments may or may not be in their budget at the moment, but you can create these mini services to get them coming back more frequently. So, say for example, your client has full, it's grown out, her highlights are down by her eyes. She can come in for this service. You can move that brightness back up, and then also around the hairline in the back to kind of create a more cohesive look. And I also want to say, make sure I say that make sure you put your comments in the chat. If you see me looking off to the side, I've got another phone over here so I can see your questions. We're on about like a 10 to 15-second delay. So as I see the questions, I will be sure to address them. So we're also going to be talking about toning as well. A couple of techniques that you can customize for your client's preferences. So, to tell you a little bit more about me, my name is Kia Charisma. I'm a New York City native, but I've lived in Texas since 95. So, I'm not Texan, but I am a happy tax paying resident. I've been in the industry since 2019, and I've been with Moroccanoil since last year. And I am super excited to be with this incredible brand and sharing this great information with you today. So, before we jump into that, I want to tell you a little bit about the Moroccanoil brand. And it all starts with our founder, Carmen. So, Carmen is Chilean, and so her hair is very thick, curly, a little bit coarse. And so, bearing that in mind, she had gone to Israel for a wedding and went to a salon to get her hair done. And at every step of the process, she noticed the stylist was putting some kind of oil on her hair. And by the end of her service, her hair was completely transformed. It looked healthier, it felt healthier, it was shiny and easy to manage. And she knew that she needed to take this innovation and make it available for people all over the world. So that led to the birth of the Moroccan oil treatment. And at the basis of the Moroccan oil treatment is the argan oil, and that comes from a nut from the argan tree, and the oil is expressed from the nut, and it is used to help create the Moroccan oil treatment. And the brand officially debuted in 2007 at the New York International Beauty Show, where we handed out small samples to pros on the show floor, and the rest is history. Fast forward now, we are a full lifestyle brand with hair care, color, body care, and now perfume. But I want to make sure to let you guys know that we are the pioneers in the oil infused hair care industry. There's a lot out there, but we were one of the first to do it. So let's talk about this look. I'm going to show you the sectioning here on Ellie. I started out with four quadrants, and then I did a deep zigzag parting to section out my hairline. And so we're only going to be working on one side today. I'm going to start in the back, so I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to be starting with our Moroccanoil Blonde Voyage Powder Lightener with Bond Care. I am mixing it at a 1 to 1.5 ratio, and you want to make sure you mix gently. The challenge I know I have run into because I am trying to work quickly, I'll really get in there and whip my lightener. And you don't want to do that because you're prematurely aerating your lightener. Aerating? Yes, aerating your lightener. And you're going to take some of the potency out before it's time. So let's get ourselves set up. For our first section, we're going to start with she's a little bit too far away, I need to be able to see too. A small diagonal back at the hairline. And as we're doing this, we're going to imagine we're doing this on both sides. I like to get my foil set up first before I weave. I like to add lightener to my foil because it helps the hair stick. And then we're going to take a fine weave here at the hairline. And then we're going to back comb to diffuse this line. We're going to take our lightener and board. So if you are in the chat, let me know where you are tapping in from. I know there is a Salon Republic here in Dallas. I'm going to be moving over there in May. So I will be joining the ranks at the other runners at Salon Republic, which is pretty neat. So this is going to be our first foil here. We want to make sure we're doing fine foils at the hairline because you want to be able to create a nice, neat blend with no visible line of demarcation. You're going to take a second fine slice, but honestly, you're not going to be doing any more than 4 foils in each section. Can you imagine how much faster you can get your job done if you're only doing 4 foils to create such an incredible high impact look? And speaking of, I'm not going to have time to do the whole look today, but you can go to my Instagram at Quia Loves Hair. It's in my name on the screen, and I will be posting the finished look later today. I like to feather up to the root. Part of the reason why I like to put my lightener on the foil first and then apply the hair is that it helps the product stick. It helps with slipping. That has been my personal plight for many years, is having my foil slip. So now that we got our fine weaves out of the way, then we can take more of a traditional weave for this section. You see we're already starting to run out of hair in this section. Let me know in the chat if you are a crazy overfoiler, because that has been my personal struggle for quite a while. And I only recently kind of gave myself permission to not pack in so many foils. So here we've done a bolder weave. There you go, you can see it there. And this way we're going to be covering more ground. Actually, I don't feel like she's turned enough for you guys here. I want to make sure I diffuse my line. Can lock that in place. Sometimes, if you're having problems getting your teas to stick and to stay out of your way, you can take some Moroccanoil dry texture spray and give a few spritzes to that area that you're about to work on, and it keeps your teas out of your way. I'm really working up close and personal today. So to tell you a little bit about Blonde Voyage, it comes in 3 forms. We give you all 3 ways to play. So we have our Blonde Voyage powder lightener, which I'm using today. That will give you 9 levels of lift. It can be used on and off scalp, and the mixing ratio is 1 to 1.5. And then your max processing time is going to be 50 minutes. All right, so we have got our foils in. I actually only needed 3 here, which is pretty neat. And now we're going to move on to the front. I'll keep her about right there so you all can see as well. And then we're just going to repeat more of the same in the front. Now, I do want to point out, since her hairline is wavy, and I know some clients have a more shallow recession area, so we can section out this front part so that we can have foils that align closer in there. So now for our first hairline section, we're going to take another fine weave right in here. And I practically count my stitches when I do a fine weave because I want to make sure I've got it as neat and uniform as possible. I can't help myself. I'm a Virgo. This is just who I am. I'm going to do 2 of those fine weaves right at that hairline, and then I'm going to switch to the bolder weave for the last 1 or 2 foils. While I'm doing that, I can tell you a little bit more about our other 2 lighteners. Let me know in the chat if you've had a chance to play around with any of the Moroccanoil color products, whether that is permanent color, demi-permanent color, or our lighteners. All right, got this one in here. The next lightener that I personally use a lot is going to be our Moroccanoil Cream Lightener. That is going to give you 8 levels of lift. It's got a nice, gentle formulation. It's ideal for on-scalp treatment. As you can see, my blonde is grown out now, but I do lighten my hair to the root. I can't say that our cream lightener is painless, but it is less terrible than ones that I've used in the past. It's also ideal for previously colored hair that may be more fragile, and even curly hair. A lot of people make the mistake of being too aggressive when lightening curly hair. They just assume, they see the texture, and so they assume that you should be more aggressive when lightening. And the answer is actually the opposite, because the hair has so many bends and curves and curls. It actually makes the hair strand more fragile. And so you should be more gentle with that. Honestly, when I'm using our Blonde Voyage lighteners, I start with 10 volume, and then we'll cycle up to 15 when I get to my very last section, so everything has a chance to catch up. But I very infrequently go above 15. That can also be used in foil, and also features our bond care technology. So our lightener has a combination of bond care and argan ID. These are two of our technologies that we use to help protect the hair during the coloring process. Bond care strengthens the hair and reinforces bonds to help reduce damage and breakage. And Argan ID is our secret sauce when it comes to our color. And it helps repair and seal the cuticle for nourished, shiny hair. I've actually had clients tell me that their hair felt better after I colored it, which really feels like I'm pulling your leg, but I'm dead serious. That's exactly what's happened. One of my combs has gone MIA. Did I put it in a pocket? Okay. I'm gonna have to use my highlighting comb. We'll talk about this here in a moment. So we've done our two fine weaves right at the hairline, and then we're gonna go in now with our bolder weaves. I dropped one. I would really know. Oh, there it is. It was under my planchette. This is my life. Every day I'm in the salon. I put up probably 10,000 steps in this little space. Okay, so there's our bolder weave for the side. With that comb to diffuse this line. So let's see, I told you about our powder lightener, told you about the cream lightener, my personal fave to use on myself. And the last is our clay lightener, and that is formulated with kaolin clay to help it stay creamy. And so of course the shell is going to form on the outside of that lightener because it can be used for open air techniques. It can also be used for, it can be used in foil as well, but underneath that shell that forms on the outside, it does stay very creamy and very moist to help you get that 8 levels of lift. All of our lighteners can be used in foil, and max processing time is 50 minutes, 50. And the thing to remember is to not put them under heat. No heat should be used with any of the Moroccanoil lighteners. Last piece on our side section. Bold weave, as bold as we can get in that small section. I'm super excited about doing this face frame because I finally figured out how to use my highlighting comb. When I do my face frames, I don't do slices. I prefer to do back-to-back weaves. And so we're gonna do 3 back-to-back weaves at the front with my baby lighting comb. My friends have told me that they struggle with the comb, so I can show y'all exactly how it works. It's easier than you think. Now we are down to, she's leaning. Our girl is stressed out. Okay, up to our face frame now. So we're gonna take a very fine slice for our baby lights. So now we're gonna use the highlighting comb for this. I'm gonna tilt her down just a bit so you all can see exactly what I'm doing. You're gonna lift the hair up, put the comb in, and you want to pull the hair down because, oh, that's a good angle. You can see how it split the hair in the upper and lower sections. And this is how I make sure I get the neatest possible baby light. I'm gonna do a very soft tease right in here. If she was a person, she'd actually have baby hair that would have combed up into that tease, but get mine in there. We'll clip that out of the way so that we can tease this one and start our first baby light. Got a pretty quiet crowd in here today. That's okay. Chances are y'all are probably multitasking. I can relate. And then we're gonna go ahead, paint on our section. And for the reveal, I will be showing you just the side of the doll head that we've done. I've actually got to teach this class again in a few days, so I'm going to be using the other side of her head to teach that because, you know, less waste, right? All right, we got our first baby light in. There's one. I already combed that one out. Past me was looking out for future me to work more efficiently. And just think how fast you can get this service done. I'm at the halfway mark, running my mouth, and how long have I been at it? Maybe 15 minutes. So you can get all your foils in, depending on your client's hair density, in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then you can let that process for your desired lightness. I did cheat and pre-prep this side of my mannequin's hair with some highlights so that we can really get some good definition, rather not definition, dimension. See, I'm a texture specialist and we're always talking about curl definition. It's burned into my vocabulary. So you want good dimension to be visible. Okay, get my last baby light in here. Once you got that hair separated, take your index finger and just pull out those hairs that's right there on the top. We're gonna tuck those away because this is gonna be our last baby light. Okay, thank you. All right, so got that. And you can usually find all of our looks in our Moroccanoil Color Destination app. Although, strangely enough, this particular one wasn't in there, but it's simple enough that even if you just take a couple of screenshots, then you'll remember it. And but we've got lots of really incredible hair color tutorials, color knowledge. Um, there's an artist spotlight where you can post your own work and your peers can give you rank and stars. And then you can also try out our new formulation app that was rolled out, I want to say about a week ago. Okay, so this is my last section right up here at the face frame. And I'm not going to take a chunky weave because that's going to be a little bit too bold, but I will take a traditional weave to help break up from that baby light. And then we're going to have all of this depth back here to really make these highlighted sections pop. I'm super excited about that. Can't wait to show y'all. And now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have done this on the other side so I could demonstrate the toning on my hair that's already lightened, but that's okay. There's still important things I want y'all to see, so I will just demo that on the other sections. With this particular formula, our highlight, we're gonna tone 9 chocolate, and our root shadow is 6N, but of course my doll isn't 6N. I would have loved to have done her root shadow 7 gold copper, but I used that on one of my clients this week, so I don't have it right now. And it also buys me some more time for when I show y'all the final result, I can go pick it up. Anyway, so now we have got all of our foils in. And what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 foils. That's it. So 22 foils you'd probably end up with for this look. So we are going to talk about Moroccanoil Color Calypso for toning. And I'm just demonstrating application since this side doesn't have any color. So our Color Calypso liquid demis are a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. They feature pro-arginine and argan ID. To blend them, because I didn't shake this, just put your finger over the bottle and tilt. You don't really want to give it a vigorous shake because Calypso has surfactants in it, and that makes it so you don't need to shampoo out our liquid demis. So you go in, apply it on here, drop some on your sneakers like I just did. But you want to make sure that you keep your motions really smooth. You don't really want to overwork it because then you'll activate those surfactants and you won't get that strong deposit that you need. Mixing ratio is 1-to-1. Processing time is up to 15 minutes, just based on what your needs are. And it does oxidize true, so you can watch it develop as you're working. If you're a little uncertain if you want to rinse it out or not, just give it a good scratch test. You can scratch it with your thumb. It wipes some of the product off of the hair, so you can see um, how much is developed and if you're ready to rinse it out or not. So that was that. And so for the shadow, I would normally utilize a root tap at my face frame. So say she's at the sink, we've rinsed everything out. We'd cover all this hair back here. And then we would take our liquid demi in a bowl. Well, that's the way I prefer to do it. I'm gonna mix this gently. Feel like I've got a little bit more control with a brush when I'm working on really fine, delicate sections. So with a tap, you would just gently right at the hairline, and my hand was in the way. So let me turn her this way. Here we go. So that's your tap. And the reason why I tap in my face frame is because I don't want to, you know, invade or infringe upon all of this amazing brightness that I would have put in her face frame. And then you can give it a quick little gentle comb. Now, if you're in a situation where you're further in and you want to create more of a blur, that's going to be your color stretch. That's going to be more so for creating, blending out lines of demarcation. What else? If you use demis for gray coverage, which I do have one client, we use demi for her gray coverage. So we would do a color melt, color stretch on her as well. So just tap right along the hairline. Putting this diagonal back. And we're going to be a little bit more liberal with it in this area. And then we're just going to gently comb and blend that down farther. So that's going to be your color stretch. One of the things that I really love about our Color Calypso is that they're completely intermixable, and then that Argan ID is really going to help moisturize and nourish the hair with antioxidants. I can't talk. So let me see. This is going to process for a total of about 50 minutes. And we'd wash all this out, go ahead and apply those toning techniques. And yes, when we are done, I'll show you on my Instagram. You can follow me at Quia Loves Hair on Instagram. Also, be sure to follow Moroccanoil at Moroccanoil Pro on Instagram. If you are looking for more education, you can visit Moroccanoilprofessionals.com, where we've got classes that are virtual. There's information about our academy classes, And then also you can download our Color Destination app. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. And that's going to be, that's your color reference on the go. So it's going to have our color guides, tutorials, product knowledge, and then also that artist corner where I'd love to see your work. And what else do I want to tell you about? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Collective, yes. So make sure you go to Moroccanoilprofessionals.com to learn more about our 3-day event in Las Vegas called Collective. It is 3 days packed full of education. I will be there as a patron, so I can't wait to see each and every one of y'all. I would it to love to meet you in person. If you use this technique on any of your clients, I would love it if you would tag me so I can see your work. If you've got any questions at all, my inbox is open. I'm always happy to answer questions. And if you don't have any other questions, you guys have been a pretty chill class. Um, I guess I will see you all later. Thank you for your time today. Bye bye.